Hello and welcome to Inside the Writer's Notebook. I feel so weird saying that. So very YouTube influencery, but that is what is happening. Is that I'm explaining. I want to kind of go through my writer's process a little bit with you guys. So, Pretty Girls Get Away with Murder. I just got the first copies for this book that is going on sale or will be for sale March 14th, which is weird for me to have so much time between when the book arrives and when the sales start. This is a new process, but we're doing a new launch this time. So I'm very excited about finally getting the first copies. I'm just kind of like, I've become that person who just nitpicks everything. And so it's been a little strange. And I'm trying to distract myself from that. But it also made me realize that one of the things that I need to do is to kind of clear the space for a new project. So that is what I am working on today. So I started pulling out things that were specific to this project, and I'm going to start organizing them into my binder that I set up a long time ago. This is my Pretty Girls Get Away with Murder binder that I have been using just to store loose things and notes and early drafts and things associated with it. Here are some of my first sketches and where the ideas come from, scene sketches, because I do everything by hand before I actually type things up, because I am a process junkie. I like all of this. Like, I enjoy the process of writing, and so I have found that I am incredibly productive and thoughtful when I do it this way, which is why I don't type directly onto a computer. I find that to be too distracting. But I had this, and now I'm going to start filling it up with things associated with the novel. So another thing is I have these post-it notes that I have had all over my writer space that are just little reminders for me to do things for the text, sometimes quotes, name changes. This is part of my process board. I just pulled that off of the wall now. When I was working on part 3, I had only part 3 cards posted there. And part of the idea with the cards is that when it's time for me to write a scene, I will pull a card down and that'll be the scene that I'm working on today. So I was feeling very ambitious at some point, and I pulled out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards at a time and kind of stuck them in the back of a legal pad in order to set myself up for productivity that week. And I never took them out of the legal pad, and I hope all of these things got covered. Because my son found them in a legal pad when I asked him to write something down for a different task. He said, all these cards fell out. So now I have these for the archive. Also, when I was doing edits, I needed a space to just kind of not jot down notes when I was responding to the edits that another person made on the draft, on the manuscript. Especially for like the first developmental edits, and I needed something to have on my desk that was going to be sturdy. It looks like I got a smudge on it, in order to write down ideas. So move that clip to kind of show you. Also post-it notes here too, reminding myself, oh, this is another thing, atmosphere. So this is where when I'm stuck in a scene or I'm stuck in a story, I'll forget that the world exists around them. And I mean atmospherically, like weather and temperature, and what would it be like in that time and space during the time when all of this is happening. And I made the choice of setting the actual murder investigation in a Christmassy time, whereas the other underlining story happens in the spring. So I had to make sure that I was remembering to add atmospherical elements, scene building, things that were going on around him. So I needed to make sure I had that note. And then these are other different notes. And sometimes I would have to work on additional like things, additional scenes, little things that they're like, I don't understand why this is going on. So I would have to add these little paragraphs, little nuggets of why to provide some further clarity, because sometimes when you're in a story, it's all in your head and you understand it, but other people might not. So that's why I have to think about all of these things. So again, this is the other part of the story, so atmosphere. So I had to remember what it would look like, certain developmental things for other characters that were kind of coming up lost. So this is like my desk notebook. And of course, you know, math, apparently. I don't know where the math came in, but if I have like something that I need to work out, I have to write it down. And I have so much left in this notebook. I might remove these pages and hole punch them and put them in the binder. So I'm still trying to figure that out. And then I want to kind of save and preserve some of the editing pages. So my copy editor is someone who lives local, which is great, because what I was able to do was to actually print out the manuscript. Excuse me. I was able to print out the manuscript and put in like all of the edits, because I firmly believe that copy editing just is better if it is done on a physical piece of paper, on the tactile. I just think that you can catch more things if you were reading on a physical print copy. And I love the notes that they gave me. I don't know what this post-it note is for, but I love the notes that they gave me and made me feel really confident in what I had produced, because, you know, it is kind of like anxiety filled to write a novel just to get to the end and just be filled with the sense that, you know, all of that work went towards something that's just not that great. But you can't harp on that either, because then you would never write anything. So it's just, I like to keep good comments, things that, you know, give me a little boost when these things come around. I know there are lots of writers who I've worked with who are like, I don't need you to tell me that I'm good. I don't need you to boost up my ego. Well, I am the opposite. I want that. I think it makes me feel nice, and I will accept it, along with the constructive criticism. I don't see why we can't be nice. So yeah, so I'm going to hole punch all of this, and I'm going to put that also in the binder. And then I just keep finding things just stuck in different places. And as sad as it is to take things down, it's necessary, because I have to move on to my next project. And I don't know what exactly that's going to be. I have an idea, but I don't want to commit to anything yet. I want to play the field a little bit. So I'm going to end up storing all of these things in the binder. And then the binder will go on my shelf, on my bookshelf, as kind of a memento of this entire process. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right, so that is my project and what I'm working on today. Don't forget, Pretty Girls Get Away with Murder comes out in March. And if you are interested in getting in early, definitely sign up for the pre-orders mailing list that is on my website, brandybradley.com. All right, I will check in with you guys later.